So we got to Sedona, Arizona. We booked ourselves a hotel room and we got a good night's sleep. And the next day, it was time to get to work. And what does get to work mean? Advertising. But we weren't just advertising, we were inviting people. You see, there's about 300 stores in downtown Sedona, and we thought we would invite the owners of those stores. We didn't want to target the tourists, we just wanted to target the locals. So I had about 500 flyers of my show. Had a little picture of me on the front and a little description of me on the back. And we walked into every single store of Sedona, Arizona. And I offered them a flyer and I said, "Hi, my name's Paul Sykes. I came from the San Francisco Bay Area. I'm doing a show on Friday night. It's at the Sedona Verde Valley Board of Realtors building and I just wanted to invite you. I thought you might get something out of it and I just wanted to invite you." And everybody would take the flyer and they would read it and they would say things like, "Wow, you sound fascinating. Sounds like you do good work. Wow, I can't wait for Friday night. Can't wait for Friday night." 300 stores, 300 flyers, and everybody in Sedona, Arizona asks you the same question. They turn to you with a furrowed brow, or maybe a raised eyebrow, and they say, "What brought you to Sedona, Arizona?" Because they all believe in some magical force that's calling people to Sedona, Arizona. They all believe in some higher power that calls people to Sedona, Arizona. They all believe in this invisible thing that calls people to Sedona, Arizona. So I came up with an answer that I thought was appropriate and true. I would say, "I don't know, but I'm trying to find out." 300 stores, 300 flyers, everybody's telling me, "Wow, can't wait for Friday night, can't wait for Friday night, sounds great." Daytime turned to nighttime, and that meant it was time to hit the Sedona nightlife, a very loosely used term. As near as I can figure, the Sedona nightlife consists of one bar. It's a microbrewery where all the artists hang out. So me and Audra went over there and we handed them flyers and we were asking them to the show and everybody was reading it and saying, "Can't wait for Friday night, can't wait for Friday night." I talked to 2 people in this bar. The first guy I talked to looked at my flyer and said, "What brought you to Sedona, Arizona?" And I said, "I don't know, but I'm trying to find out." But by this time I had learned the lingo. So I said to him, "What brought you to Sedona, Arizona?" And he said, "What brought me to Sedona, Arizona was the love of my life, the mother of my child." I said, "Explain." He said, "Well, 10 years ago, the love of my life, the mother of my child, had the most beautiful singing voice in the world. But she became so disgusted with the music industry, the corruption and the greed, that she decided she couldn't sing anymore, and she stopped singing altogether. And I thought this was a crime on humanity. So I wanted to do something. I wanted to do something drastic. So I suggested to her that we go out to the desert, and we live there for like a month. Load up my van with food, move out to the middle of the desert, and live there for a month." And she said, "I think that's a good idea." So we went out to the middle of the desert, and we took off all our clothes, and we lived naked for a month. We would wake up in the morning and make love. Then we'd cook breakfast and make love again. Then we'd have lunch and we'd make love again. Then we'd have dinner and we'd make love again, and then we'd go to sleep, and the next day we would repeat the whole thing. So we did that for an entire month, but at the end of the month, she still wasn't singing. So I said, "Let's stay for another month, as long as we have so much food in the van." So we did that. Another month of making love and eating and making love and eating and making love and eating. And at the end of the second month, she still wasn't singing, but we were out of food. So I said, "Let's stay for another month." She said, "Great, let's go to the nearest town and get some food." The nearest town was this town, Sedona, Arizona. We got a hotel room. We were just going to stay the night, go to the grocery store the next day, and go back to our paradise in the desert. And as we were sitting there in that hotel room, she asked me for her guitar. So I brought her guitar. And then she started to strum. And then she started to sing. So we thought there must be something magical about this place. And the next day we found out she was pregnant. I said, "Wow, that's a fascinating story. Where's your wife now?" "Oh, we're not married." "I'm sorry, that's fine. I'm open to alternative lifestyles. Where's your girlfriend?" "Well, actually, she broke up with me." "When?" "About 8 years ago." "Well, where did she go?" "Well, she got a record contract." "Where's the kid?" "She took the kid." "I'm sorry." The next guy I talked to was an actor. I walked up to him, I showed him the flyer. He said, "Sounds great, can't wait for Friday night." "Hey, you want to know something about me?" I'd love to know something about you. Tell me something about you. He said, okay, here, I want you to read this. He pulled out a stack of papers. It was 15 pages long. He said, read this, I'll be back in 10 minutes. I said, okay, fine, I'll read this. Me and Audra started reading it. It started out, I am a spiritual man. Thank God I found a spiritual man. I'm looking for spirituality. I am a spiritual man. I am one with the earth. I am one with the trees. I am one with plants. I am one with fish. I am one with dogs. I am one with cats. I am one with water. I am one with earth. I am one with garbage. I am one with everything. When my body dies, my soul will live on because I'm one with this universe. Because I'm one with this universe. I am one with Venus. I am one with Mars. I am one with the moon. I am one with the stars. 15 pages, and I'm not exaggerating about this. At the end of it, I was bored. But more than that, I just didn't believe him. So he came back. So he came back and he said, well, what did you think? And I said, sounds like you're a spiritual guy and you're one with a lot of stuff. And he said, yes, I am. So he said, what brought you to Sedona, Arizona? I said, I don't know, but I'm trying to find out what brought you to Sedona, Arizona. And he said, what brought me to Sedona, Arizona was a spiritual pact that I made with my soul over 10 years ago. I said, explain. He said, 10 years ago, I was an actor. And I moved to Hollywood to become a movie star, and I said to myself, if I don't make it as a movie star in 2 years, then I'm gonna move back to Sedona, Arizona, and I'm gonna live out the rest of my life in Sedona, Arizona. So I said, that's fantastic. You honored your spiritual pact. That is great. And he said, yes, I did. I mean, I gave myself a 6-year extension, but after 8 years, I moved back to Sedona, Arizona, and I'm going to stay here. So I turned to Audra, and I said, Audra, I can't take this anymore. I can't take this anymore. I'm going out of my skull. I mean, the only 2 people I meet, one guy, his spiritual connection to Sedona, Arizona lies in the fact that he can't get over some chick who dumped him over 8 years ago. And the other guy's spiritual connection to Sedona, Arizona lies in the fact that what he really wanted to do was to become a movie star with a mansion in Hollywood. And when that fell through, he moved back to Sedona, Arizona. There is no such thing as spirituality. I don't believe in anything. I don't believe in anything. Let's get in the car and go. So we got in the car and we left. We were driving down the road, and then there it was, the spiritual center of Sedona, Arizona. So I said, Audra, pull in there. So we pulled in. We walked inside. It was beautiful. There was the most beautiful woman working there. There was incense burning, and she was wearing a tie-dyed muumuu. She was a spiritual woman. So I walked up to her and I said, listen, I'm so glad I found you. I've been going out of my skull. I'm so glad I found you. I needed to find you. Because you know what? I need to know something. I hear about these vortexes. You got these vortexes here in Arizona. You guys know about vortexes? A vortex is apparently a place where you go in the middle and it spirals down toward the center of the earth. And you go there and you sit there and you feel the energy of the earth overtake your body. So I said, please tell me something about these vortexes. And she said, well, as a matter of fact, for $5, I can sell you this map of all these vortexes of Sedona, Arizona. And she started to explain all the vortexes to us, very matter-of-factly. She said, well, this vortex has a very feminine energy. This one has a very masculine energy. This one's sort of androgynous. It all depends on what you're looking for. So I said, great, just give me the map. Well, here's the $5. Can I go someplace right now? I know it's the middle of the night, but I need to go someplace right now. Can I please just go someplace right now? And she said, well, you know, it's nighttime. And I said, yes, but right now? And she said, well, if you want to go someplace at night, a good place to go is the Airport Mesa Vortex. Why? Because it has a very balanced masculine and feminine energy. And not only that, but if you go there at night, there have been a lot of UFO sightings. It overlooks the airport. So I said, fine, I'll go to the Airport Mesa Vortex, whatever. And she said, what brought you to Sedona, Arizona? I said, I don't know, I'm trying to find out. I think it has something to do with my need for spirituality. And she said to me, well, if you're looking for spirituality, maybe you'd like to stick around. We're having a dream seminar. I said, a dream seminar? Really, what's that? It's when we all sit in a circle. We all sit in a circle and we talk about our dreams and we analyze them together. We figure them out together. And it really helps people. And I said, well, maybe I'd like to do that. Maybe I'd be into that. Sure. And she said, okay, well, there's you and Audra. It's $20 a piece. I said, forget it, I'm going to the Airport Mesa Vortex. We got ourselves a couple cups of tea. We went up to the Airport Mesa Vortex. I tried to feel some spiritual energy, but I didn't feel anything except cold. So I did something funny. I took off all my clothes. I got completely naked. I sat in the lotus position for the first time since I was 12, and with my hands like this, and I tried to feel something, but I didn't feel anything. So we left. We put on our show. It was a good show. I'll tell you more about it later. And then we got the hell out of Arizona.